Jaheem, just start with the interception Saturday. When did you see it? When did you realize it's coming right to you? Go through that.
Honestly, it was a 3-by-1 set in the coverage we had called. I knew I had Ant on the backside helping me if I have any crossing routes. So I was just tracking my guy, and then I just seen the ball right there. So I was like, I got to make the play. And it just came right to me. So it was credit to Ant, my teammates. We always talk about doing our 1-11.
Was that a coverage that you not used much? Was that something he didn't see, or he obviously didn't see you?
Mm-hmm. I mean, we mix our coverages a lot this past game. One thing going into the week that we talked about is just disguising our looks, making everything look different, make it harder for them to see the coverages post snap.
Do you feel like the coverage has improved? I mean, obviously there were issues early, and certainly very good this past week for the most part. Do you feel like you're getting better back there as a group?
Definitely. I just think we got a lot of new guys. Practicing and playing games are two different things. So just every week we just we got more urgency in practice. That's something we emphasize, that we don't have the credibility to just be playing around in practice. We took practice very seriously. Coming out of the Pitt game, we had to take our urgency up, and we started to build trust with each other. We just growing as every week goes by.
Was it a relief for the secondary to get an interception? I know Bradley got the first one. I mean, just kind of like, got one.
Yeah, definitely. Somebody had to start it. Aiden dropped two of them. We was on them today about that. But just to get the first one going, we just gonna keep working to keep them going.
You're one of those new guys. Talk about trying to ingrain yourself into a new group. I mean, you're a veteran of the college game, but how hard is it? How much does it take to develop that chemistry?
Yeah, honestly, dating back when I came back to the spring, it was a smooth transition for me. All my teammates, they brought me in. It didn't even feel like I was a new guy. Honestly, they just brought me in. I felt like I was here for the past 2 years. Just a credit to my teammates, the coaches, and the culture we got here.
Are you more comfortable now, though, that you've got 5 games under your belt in the system?
Definitely. Like I said, practice and games are two different things. You got to get used to playing with new people. It's just a constant growth and constant strive for improvement.
So what's Iowa State bring? I don't know if you've gotten too deep into the scouting.
I haven't. I watched a little bit of them on the way back on the plane when I was watching Baylor. I probably started watching more than today, and I don't really have an answer for you. Obviously, they're a ranked opponent, undefeated. It's a challenge that's going to be here Saturday, and we're going to be excited for it.
Expand on the part about getting to know people and getting comfortable with your teammates. I mean, we watch the teams, and rosters change so much now. Explain that process a little bit.
Man, I think it honestly comes from outside of practice, outside of workouts. You just gotta even in the locker room, just building a relationship with guys. That's definitely a part of me personally that I want to grow at. Because I'm naturally I'm a laid back person, quiet person. So when I came here, I challenged myself I got to start being more open, start talking to people, just building better relationships. Because the closer you are as a team, the better you perform.
Speak up, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
On the field.
Definitely, that's another thing. For me, I feel like once I build a relationship with guys, that's how we'll know what buttons to click, know what buttons to push them. So it's definitely it comes with confidence and growth.
How tough was that for you to become a more vocal person, become less laid back, a little bit more kind of outgoing?
It took a little bit of time, honestly. To the spring ball, that was I just wanted to get to know everybody, just understand who people are. But into camp, that was one thing I focused on, just being more vocal, just talking to more guys, because I built that relationship with more people.
Is there any confusion when you go from one system to the other, that sometimes you do techniques you were taught in the other system that are different than the way they teach you here? Walk me through that a little bit.
Man, honestly, spring ball was probably the hardest one for me, honestly, because I was in the same system for 4 years, so it's kind of like natural body movement to do the past things. But Shadon he does a great job week in, week out, just being on top of everybody about their technique, about the fundamentals, about just doing what we're taught to do. So I just credit to him for always holding me accountable to everything.
The secondary as a group, were you guys aware and hearing kind of what has been said during the hiccups earlier this season? And was that more motivation, and how do you feel now?
people say we don't look into it, but me personally, like, I see it all. Like, I take it as a grain of salt, honestly, because, you know, me being a fan myself of, like, the Dolphins, you know, I'll talk a little crazy about the Dolphins sometimes too, but, you know, it's just like Coach Leslie say, you know, Coach Brown always told us, man, it's all about the people in this building. You know, we're not worried about the outside noise. We just got to attack every day, every opportunity we get, and just prepare to go 1-0 every week.
Sounds kind of simple, but can it be a little complex too? I mean, you got to make sure you get back to your spot, know where you're dropping. You're, you know, kind of on your own, maybe doing something to hide things. Is that a little bit of a concern?
That's one thing our coaches always tell us, like, don't let your disguise affect you from doing your job. So it's kind of like you got to put a little bit of work into it, but you got to understand the play call and just get to your work.
When you guys are having a game like you all had on Saturday, where the offense is putting up points, defense is making stops, can you all see each other feeding off, like, the other side of the ball? Like, do you all as defensive players feed off the offense and vice versa?
Definitely. It's definitely, like, especially when offense came out early, started putting up points early. We on the defensive side, we like, man, we just got to get the ball back to the offense. You know, they're rolling right now. We just got to keep doing our job, keep doing what we're doing, keep the energy up, and just get it to them. And you see what they do.
Where you only defended 45 plays last week?
Nah.
That's a low number. I mean, it's a lot easier to play defense. You only get to defend 45 of them, right?
Definitely, man. It's a credit to all 11 guys that's out there, everybody involved. You know, we probably had one of our best weeks of practice going into that game last week. You know, it started in practice. We got to take every opportunity we get and go 1-0. It don't matter if it's an individual rep, a group rep. You know, it doesn't matter. Every rep is important.
What was so special about practice last week that made it so good for you guys?
Man, we got a standard. You know, like I said, after the Pitt game, you know, we met as a group and it was like, what we're doing in practice is just not good enough. And knowing the potential of our team and showing the spurts, in practice, we got to be consistent and always keep that high standard no matter what it is.
I know it's only Monday, but do you know anything about the Iowa State's offense this year, about Rocco and what he's doing at QB and kind of his ascension and what to expect out of that?
Honestly, I haven't really gotten deep into it. I just know they're ranked opponent. They're undefeated. You know, we play them at night. It's a big time game. Fox. You know, last time it was on Fox, it wasn't the performance we wanted to show. So it's just a new challenge, a new week, and we gotta prepare.
First night game for you here, but what is it about night games that gets players jacked up?
It's different. It kind of reminds me, you know, high school for real. You know, Friday night lights. Everything is different at night. You know, the intensity just goes up. You know, sometimes night games it's a longer wait. It's more anticipated. Like you just waiting to play. You know, but night games is always different. I love night games.
It seems like the guys are faster too. Whatever reason, everybody plays faster. The game's faster. You feel that way as a player?
Yeah, honestly, it's just I feel like it's just more energy, more intensity, because you know, it's just more build up. You know, you get a 12 o'clock click, you just wake up and play. But you know, you play at 8, you got that build up. You watching other games, just getting mentally prepared and just want to kick off. This is time to work.
Thoughts on the Cole Rush uniform, and does that add any extra juice for you?
It's so hard. I'm a person, I like black, and so all black is just a different type of energy, different type of step to you.
How do you spend the day when it's an 8 o'clock game? What kind of wait?
I'll probably wake up, don't even try to look at any football yet, just try to just get emotionally ready for the game, and as the day goes by, you know, I start going over my reminders, my tips. Start watching a little more film, take a peek at a couple of other games, you know, in between the breaks and meetings, and just start mentally preparing for the game later on.
Backtrack for a second. You said you guys met as a defense after the Pitt game, just like what, before practice, after practice?
Yeah, it was after I think a Monday practice. You know, Pitt. It was a hard loss to take. Honestly, probably one of the worst losses I took in my life. You know, being up by 10 with like 5 minutes left. So like we knew we weren't playing up to our standard, so we had to come together. You know, no coaches, just players, and like we had to talk to each other. Like if we want to do what we want to do and go where we want to go, we gotta pick up the intensity in practice.
You mentioned just familiarity and comfort back there in the back end, right? How does that affect the football? Like, what are you doing better, differently in the secondary because you're more familiar, more confident?
It's just more trust. Like you just know, being close to each other, that comes with communication. You know, when you build trust with each other, you understand, like, I know for a fact I can depend on him. He's going to be in the spot where he needs to be. So now when they run this certain route or they run a certain concept, I know he's gonna be doing his job, so I don't gotta too much try to overcompensate and try to do something that's not part of my job.
A meeting like the one after the Pitt game, how does that come about? Two guys talking, or?
Man, we just came together. You know, we texting our group chat like we gotta meet together, and we just gotta, cause you know we was 1-2, and the team that we have that just wasn't up to our standard. We wasn't playing to our standard either, and we didn't want to accept what we was putting on tape. You know, so we had to come together and just talk to each other, and just remind ourselves of our goals and our standard.
Who did the most talking in the meeting?
Man, it was a lot of guys, a lot of veteran guys. TB, Tyron Bradley, Josiah Trotter, Aubrey Burks. Like everybody had their time to speak. It wasn't like just a one person thing, because we got a lot of leaders on our defense.
Any one thing that somebody said stand out in your mind?
And we got to treat every day like it's a game. It's just
Serious? Or was there maybe a guy got up there that, like Blue Tarski, and said, was it one of those deals, or was it a serious deal?
I just feel like we all had a good idea of what we needed to talk about. It wasn't like nothing like nobody screaming or anything. Like we all knew what we had to do, and we just take accountability.
Was it blunt? Were the people just straight up saying what needed to be said,
Yeah.
not beating around the bush?
Yeah, definitely. I honestly, the relationship we built with each other, like it's just we always gonna be real with each other, be blunt, cause it's this or that. At the end of the day, like we gonna win or we gonna lose.
Did you say anything in that meeting? Because we talked earlier about you now being more of a vocal leader, but it's not natural for you. Did you speak up there?
Not necessarily, honestly. I just wanted, cause I honestly knew what the meeting was gonna be about, and I knew what needed to be said. And like I said, we got a bunch of great leaders, and they just take it from there.
Sometimes those meetings can be, contrived or not genuine. Obviously, this one you guys took it to heart, right?
Yes, sir. Definitely, cause at the end of the day, the coaches can only do so much. We the guys out there, so we gotta execute. We gotta make the plays.
Observation, it seems like corner safeties, you guys are playing the ball better in the air when you see it now. Is that right? And then where does that come from if that is right?
And confidence. Coach Leslie always told us, like, we ain't got nothing to worry about. Just go out there and play fast. If we all good enough players to be on this stage, so we just got to play with confidence and play fast.
Okay, thank you very much.